Hello everybody, welcome back, and today I am going to go back to experimenting with Ethiopian Opal. You can see here it's a very crystal piece, and it's just got amazing colour all the way through. So I'm hoping to get something out of this piece, but it is one of the smaller pieces that I've got. I didn't want to risk experimenting on one of the bigger pieces, and this one is also predominantly green, which is not the best of colours, and it doesn't have any kind of fancy pattern, whereas some of the other ones have some honeycomb in them. So this is a bit of a broad flash green, which I don't think is highly prized. It does still look very cool. It does have a little red, but because we're just messing around, we'll see how this one goes. Very small, pretty rough. It's got a bit of crust on the outside. So the plan of attack is this. Sintered Diamond, pretty high grit because there's not a lot that I need to get rid of. 280 Nova, 600 Nova, 1200 Nova, 3000 Nova, and then I want to stop there and just see how it goes. I might try drying it and seeing if that's okay. Otherwise, next time, if it doesn't work out so well, I'll have to go on and do some diamond paste work on a wooden dowel tip. I just remade a video on that, so if you're interested, check that out. I'll link it up here. But for now, in this video, we're going to try out this sequence and see what it looks like in the end. Hopefully we get a nice little green flashy piece of Ethiopian Opal, which I can then torture and experiment on a little bit more. So I look forward to that. But for now, let's get into this. Alright, at this stage, we've got through the Sintered Diamond. Now there's a couple inclusions just along here, and I could see pretty early on that there seems to be the slightest line here, which seems like the start of a crack. And also the inclusions are just behind it as well. So what I'm thinking is, I'm just gonna basically turn this into a bit of a cab by cutting that off, or at least grinding down to where that crack is, and then just having this nice little dome up here. It's an incredibly brightly coloured piece, and it's coming along amazingly well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably jump forward and not bother recording that part. Basically just going to use the Sintered Diamond just like before and cut all the way down, and then I'll come back and I'll be onto the Nova tips. I am noticing that this stone is incredibly soft compared to most of the Aussie Opal that I cut. Some of these inclusions, even if they're fairly deep, it only takes seconds to get down to them and get rid of them. So it's very interesting. It's like you're almost just scraping away the opal. It disappears incredibly quickly, so you've got to be careful. I don't think there'd be any reason for me to use a coarser sintered diamond unless I was working on a huge piece. for example, this is the piece that I'm trialing this on, whereas this is another piece that I've got waiting. Once I know how to tackle a small piece, then I'll move on to the big pieces, but this one's just sitting on the sidelines, just to give you an idea of how small the piece is that I'm working on at the moment. But it's got some colour, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'll cut down to that piece and then I'll be back. would you look at that? For an Ethiopian opal, this is really nice looking. Now if I just move the black away, you can see that it is fairly clear, but it's got a slight yellow tinge to it. But all in all, the colour is absolutely amazing. I actually like the bottom pattern a lot. There's a little bit of red that sits around in it. You can see it there. So it's got a full spectrum of colour. Green is pretty dominant. Now I've taken this all the way up to 3000 grit Nova, and I'm going to try to dry it from here. The drying process that I'm going to try first is actually just to put it in a Ziploc bag. It's a little trick that a Ethiopian opal expert told me about. If I'm worried at all about how it's going to dry out, I can slow down the process a little bit and chuck it in a Ziploc bag and seal it that way, and just give it a really slow dry out and see if it starts to crackle or not. Hopefully it's pretty good. When I got this, it was in water, and through the entire cutting process I've kept it in water, made sure it didn't get hot at all, took it really slow, and so now it's going to be the first time that I actually go ahead and start to dry the stone at all. So no imperfections that I can see by my eye. I haven't dried it at all, so I don't know how well the polishing stages actually went, well, the pre-polishing. And we're not going to go ahead and go for a full polish on this. I want to do a bit of experimentation by stopping it at this point. So yeah, it's a beautiful looking stone, and I'm just hoping it survives the slow drying process. And if it does, well, I'm going to put it through a lot of torture anyway probably, and test a lot of different theories on it. But as you can see, it is a wonderful stone, beautifully bright. And now we're going to test its stability. So wish me luck, and I'll see you in the next one.